All right. Hypothetically, people can hear me. Although I've never done this before, I don't think. Well, Breakfast Club, it's actually technically Wednesday, making it Nathan Brendan Masters Day. I'm infringing by 39 minutes. Oh well. I'm really tired. I am. I I didn't have time to do a video and all of the editing, etc. Although I have all these various topics that have been floating around in my head for a little bit. And so it's, I don't know, there are a lot of things that I kind of want to talk about, and I just have been so belabored with everything around me that I haven't been able to really do that. So I decided I would go ahead and see if I could live stream instead and do my video that way. So I can see there's 3 of you. Yay, hello, 3 people who are watching that I don't know. Over the weekend, I went to an awesome Viking party, which I was very proud of my face makeup for, but that is an aside. And the morning after awesome Viking party, there were some of us who were left over and helping to clean or whatnot. And then everybody eventually went out for breakfast. And I had this interesting conversation during that time. My hair clip is digging into my head, so you'll just have to pardon that I keep adjusting that. But the conversation that I had revolved around the notion of a moneyless society and what that would look like, right? Because anytime somebody brings this topic up, kind of my first question that I sort of toss at them is, if people are not using money, then how does exchange occur, right? I'm simply unconvinced that a barter system is all that different than a money system. And so this conversation sort of went on from there into how this person perceives that the world, how they perceive the direction of the world, which is something I've actually talked about before on this channel. And I tend to agree with the direction that they see things going, which is that they imagined in the future that what with automation and all of those such things, that we will be able to provide the basic needs, if not more, that for everybody, that money will not be necessary in a future society because people will have all of the things that they need, whether that's provided. I mean, I don't know how else it could be provided other than by, an enormous kind of paternalistic government that, you know, provides all of your food and your clothes and your shelter. Maybe that's with some sort of UBI, or maybe they just give those things away for free. But if we were to imagine, for example, so I found this thought experiment interesting and kind of fun. But if we were to imagine that we did live in such a world, any medicine, any surgeries, or anything that today that we would spend money on, we are able to freely get because we have hit a point in our technology that we're simply able to make an abundance of it, that people don't need to worry about having to afford a house. Everybody simply gets one, etc. So, a world where all your needs are provided. What then would we spend money on? Uh, Assuming we still had money, what would people do in this world, right? Because in a society where you have all of these things, you don't need to work anymore. And if you don't need to work, you can do whatever you want. But if you don't need to work, nobody needs to pay you. There's nobody that has to compensate you for your time and effort, etc. So what would we do then with ourselves, right? And if you, so the first answer that had popped into my mind was that people would find a way, whether that was through money or through exchange of services or goods of some sort, talents or skills, they would find a way to pay for experiences as opposed to things, right? Whereas today you might go and buy a CD online or a CD in the store or whatever. You might go buy music, right? In this society, everybody has music. You can you can just download the music. Everybody can listen to it for free. And so what then is there to do? What is there to make it interesting? And I thought, well, a thing that you cannot buy is the experience of going to a concert, right? If you were to do that, if that was to be a thing, how would you compensate a person in a moneyless system for the work that they would put forth, right? Because hypothetically, if everything we needed to spend money on as a staple was there for us, there would be an enormous more amount of time and money, time to put into and create, and then uh, the ability to spend into arts of various sorts, whatever that particular art is. And one of the essentials of art is creativity, the ability to spawn ideas, right? So your artists are going to suddenly be these these people that are, I guess, sought after for the ability to create an experience. And so let us just say that, you're the Rolling Stones or whatever, and you are going to do a concert. You are working ostensibly in the creation of your music, etc. You're working. How do you perform in front of thousands and tens of thousands of people and be compensated for that without money? And because surely 10,000 people get to actually attend the venue and hear the musician. How do you compensate the musician for coming out and performing without some sort of money exchange? If you were completely and entirely on a barter system, what would you do? Would you have this musician individually accept uh, items from random people up to the venue's capacity number? I mean, that doesn't really make much sense, right? Um, so I'm just kind of curious. I mean, what do people think that sort of a world would look like? Um, and where would we spend our money? How would it shift our perspective on money. What would money transform into or become? And if we obliterated it entirely, then how would we think about paying people who do things in front of large crowds? How would you compensate that? So that's kind of one of the things I was thinking on tonight. I apologize for being in bed and not having a proper video and all of that, but I would be interested to hear what you guys think. And I bid you all good evening or good morning wherever you are. And tomorrow, Wednesday, is Nathan Brendan Masters, so tune in and see what he has to say. Good night, everybody. It might take me a second to figure out how to turn this thing off because I've never done this. Aha! There's a giant red end stream button. Don't push the big red button! That was fun. I think it's ended. Oh my god, is it ended?